Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. If you have subscribed to the channel, I want to thank you personally because we have reached 5,000 subscribers. Fantastic. I deeply appreciate it. I'm humbled by your support and your contributions in the chats and in the comments. It's been fabulous. It makes dealing with all the losing and the Randle antics and the Thibs frustrations makes it all worth it. Honestly, to be able to share this together. I really love it. I'm glad that I started the channel and that it turned into this. I'm truly deeply appreciated by the support. That being said, hit that thumbs up button. Please, definitely appreciate that. Helps with the YouTube algorithms and all that jazz. And definitely drop your comments. The comments are important. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching this, please do so. Let's join this party that we're having here with the Knicks. And who knows? 10,000. Maybe a year from now, we'll be talking about 10,000 subscribers. Be fabulous. All right, well, the New York Knicks, they lost. 125-114. It was a bit of a I wouldn't call it another fourth quarter collapse like we've had in the past. We were down in the fourth quarter anyway, but we were able to cut the lead down to 2 points. And then forgot exactly, it was like a loose ball happened, and the Hornets were able to get the rebound, get a second chance opportunity. I think it turned into a 3-pointer, and then the lead went up a little bit, and Coach Thibs decided to sub out Emmanuel Quickly, who was having a good game, subbed him out, and the team just never responded. And he brought in Evan Fournier, who was having offensively a monster game. He finished with 30 points, as you can see here. And let's go to these stats here. I want to show you here. I'm saving the tweets. One thing I'm going to talk about, just to let you know, I think I may have stumbled upon something in regards to why the Knicks have poor fourth quarters in general. I was able to pull up a little bit of math here, and I'll show it to you. Actually, I'll talk about it. I don't have actual screen grabs of it, but it's more like a feeling. I have to do some more data mining on it to find out if the data supports what my eyes have seen. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Evan Fournier making buckets, making 3-pointers like unbelievable. He shot 6 of 8 from the 3-point line, 10 of 16 overall. So he was finishing. He really was tremendous offensively tonight. 4 assists, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 30 points for him. RJ was the second high scorer, 25 points on 17 shots. Beautiful. That's the kind of efficiency that we want. Shot 9 of 17 overall. Was only 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, and that fourth 3-pointer, that fourth attempt he took, man, it looked good. We needed that one. Didn't go down. But Julius Randle made buckets. That's right. Julius Randle, Mr. from the unconfirmed rumors, who asked off the team. If you haven't seen that video that I dropped, definitely check that out. I go in depth on the whole situation. Though, there's been some news on that, and I'll report on that as well, in terms of he was asked about it in the post game. So stay tuned for that when we get to that. He shot 7 of 16, 21 points, 4 of 10 from the 3-point line. He put up 10 3-pointers today. Wow. 5 assists. 5 rebounds, 7 assists. I don't know why I keep flipping the assists and the rebounds. 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 21 points. But it was a bizarre game. Burks, who was the hero in the past couple of games, especially against the Bulls, did not have a good game offensively. Only 12 points on 15 field goal attempts. Shot 4 of 13 from the 3-point line. Didn't make a 2-point shot at all. But he did have 12 rebounds and 5 assists. And he was left to handle the point guard duties in that fourth quarter, and that that crucial period, that crunch time period, he was in charge of running the offense at that time, but so was Julius Randle. It wasn't RJ. And it's interesting because some of the reasons why that people have said that some of the reasons why Randle stormed off the court in the Bulls game was because he felt that he was being iced out by the other Knicks in that fourth quarter. And then tonight, it was RJ. So interesting. It was a bizarre game. At one point, I thought, oh, we're going to win this game. And at one point, I thought, oh, we're going to get blown out of this game. Oh, now we're getting back in this game. And of course, it was Quickly who helped us get back in the game. Obi Toppin played 12 minutes tonight. Julius Randle played 36 minutes. Now, if you guys remember what I said about 36 minutes, it's too many minutes. Too many minutes for Julius. He should be at like 32 max. 30 is really what my preference for him. RJ played 38 minutes, and Burks played 41 minutes. Why Alec Burks had to play 41 minutes is beyond me when we have guys like Obi Toppin and Deuce available. Deuce only played 9 minutes. He missed his 2 3-point shots, but, you know, he played some decent defense. I tell you, I'm still kind of confused by this game. So I'm not really going to focus too much on the specifics of it because for some reason I'm having trouble processing it because a lot of things happened in this game that I was a little bit surprised about. One of them was that Randle started this game. After what happened last time, I was kind of shocked that he, you know, because of course, didn't Thibs say, oh, he's been dealing with the injury, and he still came out and played. He got boos. He got boos when he was announced, is what I heard. And Burks tried to play a little bit. I mean, he tried to be not the hero. I was going to say hero ball, but not hero ball. But he did take some bad shots, unnecessary shots. And then, of course, there's always the turnovers issue. Turnovers, Knicks, they only committed 12, which is low for them. However, look at Burks, 4 turnovers for him. He's a -10 tonight. Randle was a -4. Mitch, even though Mitch only had 6 points, he had 10 rebounds. Yeah, you know, he had an interesting game. He was active, disrupting once again. And then Burks -10, Fournier a -6, RJ a -1. One thing I thought was odd was at one point it was usually we've been seeing RJ with that second unit for some decent stretches. We didn't see as much of that tonight. We saw more of Burks in that role. So that was a little curious. Maybe Thibs was experimenting, trying something out, not sure. But look at Quick, 16 points for Quickly, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, no turnovers, and he got a steal. Nice game for Quickly, even though he was a -8 and McBride a -11. Wasn't a good night for the second unit either, really. OB a -7. Oof. It's a little small for me for this ringer. I got to blow these things up, make them bigger. The Hornets, man. Miles Bridges once again gets 31 points on us. I think that might be the third game he scored 30 points or more against the Knicks. He was just cooking us, man. He tried to posterize Randle at one point in that third quarter. Luckily, he missed, or else that would be all over ESPN highlights tonight. He shot 11 of 15, hit all 4 of his three-pointers, and one of them was not easy. It was not an easy shot, but he had some easy ones, like in the corner. RJ did not cover him, and I'll get into the fourth quarter in specific in a minute. Kelly Oubre, huge game for him, 21 points, 8 of 11, 4 of 7 from the three-point line. So he was, So he was 4 of 4 inside the arc. Nice game for him. LaMelo Ball, 1 of 8 from behind the arc. Same with Scary Terry. Not that efficient a game for him. 20 points on 18 shots. Same for Scary. 15 points on 15 shots. So it really did come down to Efficient play by P.J. Washington and a tremendous play by Miles Bridges and Kelly Oubre, who hurt us. One of the Martin twins, he had 4 of 6. He played a pretty decent game. But look, Knicks scored 114 points and could not win. So that means their defense was just atrocious. It was. And I believe that, in the beginning, I think Fournier was guarding Lonzo Ball in the beginning of the game. And that was a head scratcher, especially when you think that, one of the main reasons why you start Burks is because you want that defensive presence. But that wasn't the case. So it was a bit disjointed. And I'm not sure why they didn't play the same way that they played against Charlotte in Charlotte when they won that game. Kind of odd, kind of really bizarre. Very bizarre to me. Let's go to, here's the game flow. As you can see, it was a tight game throughout, very tight game. But towards the end of that third quarter, the Knicks offense just kind of like flatlined. It totally did flatline. And Charlotte just kept hitting buckets. I think they had about a 10-point lead at that point. But then we came back and we got it as close as 2 points. But that's when Quickly was subbed out. And then you can see it kind of went down. But he did bring Quickly back in for Mitch. So it was a very small lineup out there. And it got abused. And we lost. Now, one of the things emotionally, it's a weird thing because you want your team to win. However, I already called the season a while back, as you guys know. So I'm not expecting a play-in, despite whatever Thibs said. Did not expect that. But I did want to see the team play well when the young guys were on the court and compete, especially against teams like Charlotte who are competing for the playoffs. So tonight I think their magic number is reduced down to 1 to qualifying for the play-in. So they had to have something seriously to play for, and we don't. But it's great. Well, we do technically, I think we were out of it anyway. But it's good. This is the kind of reps that we want the young guys to have against teams that are competing at the end. I think that's one of the issues with the development with this team in years past, where the last month was always meaningless. So the young guys, they got out there to play, but they weren't playing against teams that really really cared. So they weren't really necessarily trying to win. The competition wasn't as fierce as it should be, so they can really be challenged and learn how to play together and how to win. So in that respect, the play-in thing is a positive thing. Definitely is a positive thing. All right, let's get to the team stats because, as you can see, it's going to come down to the points off turnovers. The Knicks allowed 19 points off their turnovers, and they were only able to get 10 points off of the turnovers that they got caused from the Charlotte Hornets. So that's a 9-point differential. And then when you add the 3-point shooting, no, not 3-point shooting, the second chance buckets. Look at that. They made 49 more buckets. They made 9 more buckets than we made. They made 49, we made 40, but they got 5 more attempts total. So they got 5 more attempts. They beat us with the turnovers, points off turnovers, and points in the paint. They killed us, 68-40. Wow. We did put up 44 3-pointers. We hit 16 of them, hit 36.4%. It's good, above the league average, which is 35.1 is the league average. So that's above the league average. So it was a good 3-point shooting night for the Knicks, and not a good one for the Charlotte Hornets. But in the paint, they just destroyed us. Look at that. They killed us in the paint. And another thing that they did, one of the reasons why they get easier buckets is because they pass the ball. They share the ball. 39 assists for them. We had 23, which 23 for the Knicks is like, 23. usually we're way down there. We're the worst. We're the worst in the league in terms of assists. All right, let's get to some other things here. So I tweeted this out. Can someone explain to me, this is towards the close of the game, can someone explain to me why Randle is bringing the ball up and initiating the offense, which has turned into 2 turnovers? It was 2 turnovers in another play that was basically like a turnover in crunch time. And Politipug responded, why does Burks play 41 minutes on 26% shooting? If you're going to lose, do it with the kids. Great question. Great question. So that's part of the head scratching. The head scratching right there. Schwinny Poo tweeted this out. And he's tweeting this out to the beat reporters. Ask him, Thibs, why he pulled quickly after scoring 11 in the first 6 minutes of the fourth. What was the logic? Please ask him what us simple fans and people on Twitter need to watch the next 3 times we look at the game film to understand. So definitely a stinger aimed at Thibs and the beat reporters. And very legitimate question. I hope someone does ask him that question. I haven't been able to watch the post games. I've just been reading the tweets and stuff. All right. Ian Begley tweeted this out. Julius Randle, in the post game, Julius Randle asked about unconfirmed WFAN report that stated he asked management for a trade after Monday's game versus Chicago. Quote, that's just not true, bro. It's just not true. It's just as simple as that. Sure, bro. Yeah, sure. I believe it. Very convincing. Then there was a follow-up tweet by Ian. In addition to firmly denying that he asked Knicks for a trade, Julius Randle reiterated multiple times tonight that he wants to be with New York Knicks long-term. Something he's said several times in the past. When asked about playing amid scrutiny in New York, Randle said, I'm built for it. Whoa. The thing that I touched upon in the video about this unconfirmed rumor that I posted last night, the thing that I touched upon that was having self-awareness. And this totally lacks self-awareness. This is what this tells it to me. Because how can he actually say? I mean, in the past, he has said that. I don't know if he said this during the press conference or when he was being asked. Ian may have gotten that quote from the past. Not 100% sure on it, but either way, it reeks of denial. And that's a huge problem. A huge problem. Because it means that he's not going to fix it. Because if you're denying that there's an issue, then you're not actually going to do anything about it. Wow. All right, let's get back to the fourth quarter. So this is what I see. This is what I see in the fourth quarter. I think what's happening is, and I wish I had these screen grabs for you right now, but maybe I'll tweet them out tomorrow and I'll get more info on it. So I was looking at the opponent's three-point percentage in general for the whole season. And the Knicks are 7th in the NBA as a team in lowest three-point opponent percentage allowed. They are only allowing 34.3% of three-pointers made throughout the whole game. Okay? And that's good enough for 7th best or 7th lowest, however you want to look at it. Number 1 is Boston Celtics. They only allow 33.7. Mavericks is next at 33.8. Phoenix are tied 33.8. Miami Heat 34.1. Nuggets 34.2. And then the Warriors are 6th at 34.3. And then it's the Knicks. So all those teams that I just rattled off are in the playoffs. They're all in the playoffs. They're all going to qualify for the playoffs. And then below the Knicks is the Sixers, the Clippers, the Nets, the Timberwolves, and the Cavs, and then the Jazz, and then Memphis. That rounds out the top 14 in terms of that. 34.3. Bear that in mind. But when you look at just the fourth quarter, the Knicks go from 7th best, they drop 5 places to 12th. Now interesting, all of the 3-point percentages go down across the line because players are more tired, defenses are more intense in the fourth quarter, crunch time, the intensity of crunch time is huge, so the stakes are higher, people get tight, the bucket, the hoop narrows a bit, it doesn't look as big as it does in the first quarter, second quarter, or even third quarter. At fourth quarter, and then once you get past the 6-minute mark in that fourth quarter, and if it's a tight game, that hoop tightens up even more. So look at the percentages. You ready? The number 1 team is the Dallas Mavericks. So they go up a position, and it's 30.4%. So they allow 33.8% for the whole game, but in the fourth quarter, they only allow 30.4%. 30.4% opponents' three-point shooting. The Phoenix Suns, 31.3, where they allow normally 33.8. So you can see everyone's numbers drop down. The Knicks actually also allow a lower opponent three-point percentage in the fourth quarter, 33.9%. So theirs only drops a 0.4%, 33.9. Even though it's lower, they drop down in terms of compared to other teams to 12th place. Why is this important? This is what I think. I think if you saw tonight, you saw RJ got burned twice on some corner threes, and there were some other moments. There was some it looked like bad D, but in reality, he was trying to cover the paint. He was the last line of defense, especially at that time when Mitch was out of the game, because that's usually his number 1 priority. But what is the thing that Thibs constantly drills into people? Protect the paint. It's everybody's responsibility to protect the paint. But when you're in the fourth quarter playing against teams that can shoot the three, good teams, they know that. They know that you're doing that, and they exploit it. And that's why they get these almost wide open looks, because our team is overplaying that paint. They don't want to give up the 2, so they give up the 3. And that's why we lose fourth quarters. That's why we continually collapse in the fourth quarter. That's my feeling. I have some data to back it up. I'll have more. But I think that's the problem. Thibs' defensive scheme that he has drilled into the heads of these players doesn't really work in crunch time, because it gives you wider open shots to the opponent beyond the 3-point line, and that's 3 points when they make it. There it is. All right, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you again for subscribing. 5,000 is fabulous. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm actually going to change the background a little bit here. I got some cool graphics that were graciously donated by a special fan, a supporter of the channel. Thank you, man. And what else is there to talk about? That's it. Okay. Oh, thumbs ups. Drop your comments. I'd love to hear your comments about, especially the fourth quarter stuff. Maybe you've seen something else that I've missed, so let me know, because something is wrong with the way the fourth quarters are handled, and of course, there's the substitution patterns. that's a whole other thing. But there's something in terms schematically with the way the team plays in that fourth quarter that just is not providing victories. Okay, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.